Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Moving the Chains here on Team NBS Media. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday, and thank you for spending it with us here the Sunday before Christmas, where all the chaos is going to happen. I'm excited, obviously, to have Jeff and Joe here, but we have everyone's favorite Eagles fan, Thomas, joining us this morning. How are you, Thomas?
I am doing great. I have literally gotten 2 hours of sleep after a long shift of work. So I'm excited to be the rookie out of a cast full of veterans today. It feels great.
And you're getting to talk about your matchup with Joe's matchup. It feels like we set this up or something.
Yeah, almost. Almost like it was handpicked or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't mind it.
We really wanted you to be here. We're just going to say it straight up.
Thank you.
Divine intervention.
Yes. So for this show, I will take the opportunity to enjoy my hot cocoa and have a lot of fun in the process.
Jeff, how are you?
Good, by the way.
And I have a bone to pick. Who made the thumbnail? Gave me the Santa beard.
Oh,
I saw it this morning. It was like, really?
One of the best thumbnails I've ever seen.
Right.
Behind it. I thought Jeff was behind that. Okay.
No.
Jeff could wear a hat. You couldn't wear a hat.
My head's clean in this.
Oh my goodness.
Good stuff.
I'm going to put it on here so everyone can see, but you can see it on YouTube.
Oh no, Greg. Oh no, Greg. Hot cocoa, baby. It's that time of year. Peppermint, whatever. But it is hot cocoa. We do not do black coffee around here. No dark magic. No Kansas City Chiefs action here. Straight hot cocoa, baby.
Okay, before we kick off what is going to happen, we're going to talk about what's happened this week and the drama that exists within it. Also, here's the thumbnail for everyone, in case you didn't see it. I think it suits you.
I mean, soon but very soon. You're not that far off. Give it another year or two.
Yeah, you're giving us the gift of Team NBS Media. So
yeah, you got me rocking the hat like Adebisi from Oz.
Like how I have it right now, just in a totally different fashion.
Where's the Santa Jeff picture? That's what we.
That's what we needed.
I'm gonna put it on after. All right, Jeff, take it away. What's going on in the team chatter world?
Team chatter time. Don't you love it? Here we go. Well, it seems that we've had an addition to the I'm a head out club. Since Deontay Johnson said, yeah, I'm about to head out of here in Baltimore. So he said, I'm not going in. They said, good, you can take a walk. So now he's out on the market. We've got waiver claims for him. We'll see what happens. But nevertheless, the second player this season we've seen go, yeah, this ain't for me. I'm going to head out. So there you go, Deontay Johnson. You got shown the door. Have fun. All right. So last week we were talking about friction in Philadelphia between the quarterback and the receiver. Well, they seem to patch that up just fine as they were throwing touchdowns last week, right? Why can't they be friends? They did just fine. And if you're looking at the Eagles now, you're going, they're one win away from the division. I think they're just fine out there. But I tell you what would make a lot of America happy if they do what people want them to do. They have the ability to win the division today and make half of America happy by eliminating the Dallas Cowboys with a win today. So, therefore, Eagles fans are feeling real good about that. Not so good in Dallas as they've been hanging on to their playoff lives for a few weeks now. The Eagles, of all people, could be the ones that end it for them indirectly. And the biggest news of the week. We've talked about this in several cities now, this guy running around being a bandit, stealing the bag. Oh boy, Atlanta, you are the latest victim. Kirk Cousins goes to Atlanta, $50 million up front, $100 million guaranteed, and he is benched before the season is over. All right, so Michael Penix will start today, but boy, oh boy, Atlanta, you've been hacked. Hold on, I got to do it right. Hold on. You've been hacked. You've been led astray. What a luck. $150 million for a guy that won't even finish the season as your starter. You signed him for 3 years. You got him for 1. He's out of here after 1. Thank God you did draft Michael Penix, but $150 million guaranteed for that. Way to go, Atlanta.
Such an Atlanta thing to do.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be the humdrum guy, but can you imagine a scenario where both we see what we saw from Cousins, and then Michael Penix follows up and looks dramatically worse? Could you imagine that QB situation in the offseason this year? Like, it could be very, very, very bad for all the wrong reasons, which I enjoy.
I'm not going to put that on him because I wanted Michael Penix to go to the Raiders. Everybody was on the live stream when I reacted to that. So I'm hoping he does well.
I hope he does well, too. He did pretty well in Washington. It's just...
All right, well, let's roll with this.
It was injury. If he can stay healthy, I think he'll be fine.
That's why I've been scared of him.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Injuries were what really, messed him up for many years in college.
I was going to say, let's roll with the Falcons and talk about what your guys' thoughts are. Obviously, it's crazy, as Jeff just explained. So, want to hear from Thomas and Joe. What were your guys' thoughts on that this week?
I'll go first on this one. I just think it's what do you expect? I mean, everybody's a different kind of athlete. And what I mean by that is ruptured Achilles last season for Kirk Cousins. That's a tremendous injury, especially at his age. Everyone in rehab's different. I mean, we see people like different sport, but you see how a guy like Kevin Durant came back from that injury. You see how Aaron Rodgers is struggling to be the mobile quarterback he once was. The injury and age. Think about Kirk Cousins, never really mobile as it was. The injury just compounded that. And I think he's just been exposed. I think he's not fully healthy. Forcing the ball. That Atlanta offense on paper should be a lot better than what it is. And like Jeff was saying, I think the only reason that Michael Penix really dropped in the draft was because of his injuries. I think if he's healthy, which he is, he can sling the rock. He's a lefty. That's going to make it difficult on defenses for the pass rush because people aren't used to dealing with a lot of left-handed quarterbacks. There's not too many of those in the NFL. I think for Atlanta, it's got to take it on the chin, man. You're in the same position as the Cleveland Browns. We shot for the moon. We missed. We didn't even get close to hitting the stars. Just take it on the chin, let people have memes and make jokes about you, hit the reset button, and try to see if you can get this thing on the right track. I mean, lucky for Atlanta, you do have a quarterback you drafted number 8 overall, waiting in the wings that you hope can be a good player. There's a lot of teams that when they pay big money for these free agents don't have anybody waiting in the wings like Atlanta does. But I just think Kirk Cousins' injury and then forcing the plays that aren't really there all compounded to make his season just end really, really badly.
Okay, I'm going to keep it 100. I didn't think Kirk has been playing terrible football. Yeah, he's thrown a lot of interceptions.
I think you muted Mike.
Kirk Cousins has been so bad, she cut off her own mic mid-speaking.
That's the power of Kirk Cousins right there.
He threw an interception in the middle of you explaining of how he's not terrible. How you do that? That's impressive.
I guess I shouldn't say what I said then.
I want to hear it. No, please do share.
I want to hear it.
Words. He's about to get intersected again, but please take your time.
I was saying I didn't think he's been playing that terribly because someone else has thrown 5 interceptions in a game, and his name is Jared Goff, and we're not giving him this same type of slander. So I want to hear, Thomas, you obviously agree with everybody else. What was Kirk Cousins doing completely wrong? Like, I need somebody to change my mind.
I'm not changing your mind. What are we doing? Kirk has been, like literally, you see the stat lines, and even if you don't watch the stats and you just watch the games, like, he just looks like a guy that is a shell of himself, can't move outside the pocket, very ginger when he throws the football. It feels like every time he throws the football, he's not very sure when it leaves his hands. And it's like with an offense that has weapons with Bijan and with Kyle Pitts and Drake London, Ray McLeod, like all these guys who at the beginning of the year, we was like, oh, well, if they can just get it clicking, it could be a very unstoppable force. Well, they didn't do the clicking part because Kirk Cousins just had a switch from whatever he was doing in Magic City at the beginning of the year to now to where he just can't throw a pass without having it picked off. And it's one of those things where it's just like, look, man, we just can't have enough of this. We're about to lose the division, which sounds crazy to say. It's one thing for Kirk Cousins to play this bad and it was like already a lost season. They have an opportunity to do one of the few things that NFL teams have ever done. To sweep a team that is over them and find a way to miss the playoffs still because they are just that bad. They swept the Buccaneers this year, and you would have never realized it because Kirk Cousins has literally thrown their season away, literally. So, no, Ashmere, I'm not going to change your mind. Unfortunately, Kirk Cousins has intercepted your mic, has thrown an interception last week. I'm sorry. I'm out. I am out. Like, this is it.
That's a good segue, Jeff. I want to ask for Deontay Johnson. Is anyone picking him up after this? Feels like
there are 3 teams that put waiver claims in for him: the Steelers, the Chiefs. I forgot the third team off the top of my head, but
Chargers.
Of course, Kansas City did.
Yeah, the Chargers, right? Yeah.
Chargers,
so there are teams that put claims in for him. So he will have a home, fortunately for him. Unlike De'Vondre Campbell, who's sitting out there at home making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. He's going to have a home some point this week. But nevertheless, I mean, you've had 2 homes already this season. You started out in Carolina. That didn't work out. You go to Baltimore. That didn't work out. He's one more spot from not working out, from being a free agent permanently. Okay, so you can't make too many moves in one season and none of them work before teams stop, looking to sign you. And you're a veteran now, so your veteran minimum is a lot more than some of these younger guys who are going to be on the market soon. There's a lot of receivers coming in this draft. There's a lot of receivers going to be on the market. Some guys that could be a lot more economical, put up some decent numbers. So he's getting to the point where he's better stick somewhere or else.
Or else, he says.
Wow. I just can't believe we're having a conversation about guys who make millions of dollars and just decide not to play. Like, yeah, we're going to pay you, I don't know, give a number, $5 million to be on our roster so that way, you can play every once in a while. Don't really feel like it. Like this one of them old SpongeBob episodes. Don't really feel like it. Like, are you kidding me? Getting paid all this money. In Deontay Johnson's case, you went from the franchise who doesn't really win a lot in Carolina, despite them being relevant this year, to going to Baltimore, who has a chance to mess around and, I don't know, go to the AFC Championship game this year. You find a way to screw that up. I'm really interested to know how that fell through because I'm at a loss. It doesn't make sense to me. I got nothing.
It's clear he wanted to be the number 1 and he doesn't want to be the number 4 or 5, switching it out, Justin Fields running the ball type of situation.
You got to have a number 1 receiver talent, though. He doesn't have that.
Yeah, for sure.
Good number 2, good number 3. Somebody's got to have an honest conversation. Let him know that you think you're that guy, but you're really not him. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
Thomas agrees with you. All right. Our last headline we'll talk about when we break down the games. So let's kick things off with our first game of the day here. Where do I feel like going? Oh, let's go to Seattle. This team, we've been giving their highs, giving their lows, giving their woes. They've been somehow coming through and now lead the NFC West, okay? And they're tied with the Rams, fighting for that number 1 spot. And Sam Darnold having the time of his life, playing phenomenal football with one of the best wide receivers out there, okay? These teams are tied for first place in their divisions. Vikings are on a 7-game winning streak. I mean, Sam Darnold is 6th in the NFL in passing. Things are going right for the Vikings. First question, do you guys think Seattle belongs as the top dog in the NFC West?
Jeff's face, man. I had a sentence.
Said no.
Jeff's face took it away.
Please. Do they belong? Did you see them last Sunday night?
No, it's terrible.
Did anybody see that? Like, you just saw a team that was here and a team that was here at home. Like, do they belong? Please. I'm actually hoping the Rams just hurry up and win the division and just get this over with. I really do. Seahawks are frauds.
Fraud.
I'm kind of out on them.
They did exactly what I hoped they would do because I picked Green Bay last week for them to win. So, listen, this has been Seattle all season long. They have hot periods, they have cold periods, they have hot periods, they have cold periods again. This has been who the Seahawks are this year. Is it enough to win the division? They better hope so, because there's no consistency to this team. 1 minute their defense looks great, the next minute it's terrible. 1 minute their offense looks like it's efficient and high scoring, the next minute it looks like it's in the dumps. Geno Smith got hurt, he left the game, but even before he left the game, they weren't effective. Granted, they're banged up at running back. Both Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker were both hurt. So when you look at the games, you look at what they have left these last 2 games, it's going to be hard-pressed for them to hold off the Rams unless they can right the ship. There's a lot to ask for with a team that's been inconsistent all season long.
Inconsistent against a hot fire Sam Darnold. Okay, so Joe, what are your thoughts? You think Seattle can get this one?
No, I'm with Thomas and Jeff. I think that Seattle, it's just a team of a mix of young players and veterans, and you kind of see that by how inconsistent their play is. Out of the 2 teams, the team I'm most impressed with is Minnesota. I've been waiting for the other shoe to drop with Sam Darnold. He shut me up time and time again this season. I'm just impressed with Minnesota. I figured it'd be the same old Vikings, start off with a hot streak, get that 4 or 5 game losing streak or something, some kind of bump in the road that derails their season. Hasn't happened this so far. I just think that Kevin O'Connell and Sam Darnold seem to be a match made in heaven. Jetta's going to be Jetta. And once he gets the ball, it's a question of how fast will he get into the end zone. I'm not really surprised with Seattle. When you look at that roster, like I said, a lot of young guys on defense, a first-year head coach. I would like to venture to say if I was a Seahawks fan, they might be a little bit ahead of the curve on the rebuild. We knew this was going to be a whole new restructuring of this team. For them to even be in contention to win the NFC West, it's kind of a good thing, I think, if you're a Seahawks fan. You got to make some moves in the offseason and be way more consistent next season and make an honest playoff push. But for me, I've just been really, really impressed with the Minnesota Vikings. I've been waiting for that other shoe to drop. It has not happened, and I feel pretty confident it's not going to happen. Maybe in the playoffs they blow out a little bit, but the Vikings have been really impressive.
Yeah, I'm not going to give away my rapid fire pick, but I think everybody knows where I'm headed. So there is 2 stats I want to share. Seattle's playoffs odds are under 40%, 37.2% to win the NFC West and 35.1% to make the playoffs. So Thomas is only speaking facts here when he's talking about how the Seattle are no-shows, the Seahawks. Also, Geno's injured. There's just a lot of flaws, I think, that they might not be able to get past.
I forgot about Geno being hurt.
The Seahawks might be having that other shoe drop bump in the road that I expected from the Vikings, because the Seahawks started off kind of strong this season. Everyone's all surprised because nobody picked them to be this good, and now here we are. We're starting to see the Seahawks show their true colors.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we've seen it several times this season. Listen, I can't tell you how many times I said, okay, the Seahawks are finally back. You pick them, and boy, oh boy, they showed you the exact opposite during that Sunday. So this is who they are. They're a bipolar team. Can they stop being bipolar the last 2 weeks? I doubt it.
Yeah. And I'm literally just not impressed just for somebody. Their offensive line is just a bunch of matadors. So definitely not encouraged whatsoever on what they do on offense. If I had to watch Sam Howell run like a chicken with his head cut off the entire time, that's not encouraging at all. You want me to believe that they have a chance to win the division? No. Not with a straight face. I can't. I can't do it.
And I think if you're Minnesota, I think you do have to re-sign Sam Darnold. I mean, J.J. McCarthy, Michigan guy, obviously represent Michigan, but he also hasn't played a single snap in the NFL. And when you have a guy playing on the level that Sam Darnold's playing on, I don't think a 2 or 3 year contract to let J.J. get more seasons is a bad idea.
Yeah, but I think other teams are going to come for Sam. Go ahead, Jeff.
For sure.
You're right, Joe. And worst come to worst, let's say McCarthy beats him out. You still have the veteran backup in Sam Darnold. So I think the price is going to be the biggest driver there. If he tries to drive the price up and say, I'm going to be a starter somewhere, then, of course, you're going to wind up letting him go. However, I think overall it would be a smart move to bring him back.
Yeah. You kind of have to, just because the uncertainty of J.J. McCarthy's injury. Like, he hasn't played a single snap. And it's like, we're already dealing with a torn meniscus. You get back the following year. We don't know if you're going to be half as good as what Sam Darnold did this year. Like, even if let's say the Vikings go in the playoffs and they get bounced out in the second round. Like, it's still a very impressive year from Sam Darnold out of all people. Like, do we expect J.J. McCarthy to do that? I don't know. So
I don't.
I don't.
You're better off just
JJ do that at all. I'm a good guy, but I'm gonna be honest. Use my football brain.
JJ was like one of the most bizarre moves I had seen. So
yeah, so it's one of those things where you kind of have to consider paying Sam Darnold. The question is what that number is, and depending on what market he has with the other teams that's willing to get him, that's where it gets a little bit tricky.
Yeah, I don't think any of us thought in the end of 2024 we'd be praising Sam Darnold and saying that he has the upper hand, because he does. There's a lot of teams out there that need a QB. The draft isn't that popular with QBs as it was last year. And then Sam Darnold is like a hot ticket. I know somebody in New York, either team actually, could be calling for Sam Darnold. So,
and a return to the Jets, that'd be kind of funny.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, we had Jeff over here saying Deontay could go back to Pittsburgh. Anything can happen when you're in the land of football.
Please.
When you look at it, Sam Darnold, like I said, has always been a capable starter, not a great starter, a capable starter. Things are going right in Minnesota this year. They play great defense. A lot of the games have been at the pace that they want to play, which is why they've been winning so many games. He hasn't been tasked to win with his arm all the time, which is always what was his downfall in all of his previous stints when he was a long-term starter. When it was asked for Sam Darnold to carry the offense and carry the team, that's where the failures happen. He doesn't have to do that. He's playing with a special receiver in Justin Jefferson. They have a great running game. If you look at that running game in Minnesota, they're running it like nobody else right now. Okay, so those are things that work to help keep Sam Darnold in this nice little cocoon of play that you say, go out there, drive the bus, don't make the mistakes, and we win. And that's been exactly what's been happening. Now, once again, you put him in a different situation where he doesn't have that running game, or he doesn't have that elite receiver on the outside, and he has to do more with his arm. You're not going to see this kind of Sam Darnold. It's just not in his DNA, and that's just why you're seeing what you're seeing. So if he goes back to the Jets, you're going to get a different Sam Darnold. If he goes to the Giants, you're going to get a different Sam Darnold. If he goes to another quarterback needy team that's not built for him, you're going to get the same Sam Darnold. It's not what you're seeing on the field now is saying, okay, he's elevated his game. No, this is who he always was. He's just in a situation where it plays to the best of Sam Darnold.
You know, Jeff has said that since week 3, and he is saying it now week 16. So if anybody goes back in time, you could see that Jeff was always on the Sam Darnold train, okay? All right, we're going to roll into our next 2 matchups. But before, we obviously have to hear from my girl, Christy Love, about these week's bets.
What up, y'all? It's your girl, Christy Love, and it's time for another parlay slay, y'all. Let's get into it. So we have Mason Rudolph for 2 passing touchdowns.
Fix that later. That was Christy Love and the squad. We'll figure that out later. Okay, let's take a quick break.
Are you looking for an energy boost during the day, but you don't like the coffee crash? Be sure to check out Clean Cause. They have delicious yerba mate teas with 150 milligrams of caffeine, but without the jitters. They also donate 50% of their net profits to help with drug and alcohol addiction. Interested in more? Click the link in our bio to get your first case.
You are watching Team NBS Media. We are a digital media brand covering sports, entertainment, and lifestyle, with team members all across the country. Through our written content, podcasts, and video content, we bring you fresh and professional content. Interested in joining the team? Shoot us an email or DM. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. You are watching Team NBS Media. We are a digital media brand covering sports, entertainment, and lifestyle, with team members all across the country. Through our written content, podcasts, and video content, we bring you fresh and professional content. Interested in joining the team? Shoot us an email or DM. Make sure.
Good morning, everyone. Sorry about that little hiccup. Welcome to Moving the Chains with me and the squad. Next up, we're going to talk a little bit about Greg's favorite team. I had to find it. We've got a big game for Tampa. They've been lights out, basically, to come out of their bye week. And the Cowboys are doing a complete 180 from what we all imagined they were going to do. No Dak Prescott, all the things. Cooper Rush doing much better. So my first question before we even talk about matchup here, the last 4 games for the Cowboys, how have you guys felt that has been a transformative time for them compared to what this entire season has looked like for them? All right, Joe, you're first.
I guess as good as could be expected with all the injuries they have. I mean, they definitely haven't, in my opinion, they haven't rolled over and gave up. I mean, I just knew they were going to lose that game in Carolina to the Panthers. Went on the road and won that. You can shake your head and say, oh, it's Carolina all you want. But up until that game, Bryce Young was playing pretty good football, and Carolina, who gave the Chiefs all they could handle, was playing pretty good football as well. So I just knew that was going to be a Cowboys loss. Like you said, Rush playing better. You got guys like Micah Parsons that are still delusional, thinking that they can still make the playoffs. I think that ends today. That might end today if the Eagles beat the Commanders. Talk about that during rapid fire, of course. But I think if I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, I mean, I guess you're kind of satisfied with what they're doing. With all the injuries and the guys they've lost, the expectations aren't going to be met this season. It would have been easy for these guys to fold up shop, start making your plans for Cancun. They might have the brochures for the resort, but they haven't actually paid for the down payment yet.
They did. Go ahead, Jeff, please.
I got to take a sip for a second. Hold on.
Like last time, Jeff
was a safe space for all Cowboys fans except Thomas.
Because Joe said, the Cowboy fans have to be satisfied. Have you spoken to Cowboy fans recently? They ain't never satisfied.
The rational, Greg. The Jeff is 5 or 6 rational Cowboy fans in America. Not the other 44 million.
They are never satisfied, okay, unless they are hoisting a Lombardi. Okay, this team, right, with what they've been playing with for most of the season has been a preseason starting lineup. Okay, the amount of guys they have on IR and continues to grow as the season goes along. It's not like they're getting better. They've gotten some guys back. Micah only missed 4 or 5 games, but guess what? Have we seen DeMarcus Lawrence injured his foot? Nope. And you're probably not going to see him. Okay, he's on IR. He hasn't practiced yet. They're done. Forget about it. He's 2 games left. You're not going to activate him for 2 games. He's not coming back this season. And he may not be a Cowboy after all, because I believe he's a free agent unless they re-sign him. So there are a lot of problems right now. Diggs is having another knee surgery. Mm-hmm. That's a whole nother story. Okay, so they've been playing with practice squad players here. This guy that's been a backup his whole career, who's made no starts. This has been the Cowboys season. And for them to sit there and with 2 games left, still be in playoff contention is a shock, in my opinion. But so it's a kudos to the job that what Mike McCarthy's done. But guess what? There's going to be a lot of anguish and agony if he gets an extension, because Cowboy fans aren't going to feel he deserves it. But guess what? He's earned it with what he's done this season, because they're still competitive down the stretch. They had a 5-game stretch where you thought they were going to be in the top 5 picking in the draft, and they've turned it around to the point where, yes, they may not even be top 10 by the time this is all said and done. But overall, you'll feel a lot better about some of the guys you have in the depth of this team. So kudos to the job that this coaching staff has done with this team, which has been patchwork most of the season. But overall, listen, it is what it is. You can't, we always say as coaches, next man up. That's wishful thinking. Because the guy behind them 90% of the time isn't better than the guy you lost. All right. So we do that as a motivational thing, but we don't sit there and envision going, man, I could play half of my backups and still make the playoffs. That's not what we're thinking in team meetings in the background, although we tell you that in the press.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this game is going to be an easy one, even though Tampa is looking to win their 5th straight. Baker Mayfield's doing the best he's ever played as well. We're talking about all these guys who have just resurged, and I love to see it. So what are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers doing right? I'm going to send it back to Jeff, because if you didn't know, he's got that show Bucs Weekly. So he's already told you, but I'm going to make him repeat it.
Yes, and forgive me for my absence from Bucs Weekly. There will be a show coming back this week for the holidays. Now we have more time now. College football is winding down. I'm not on the road as much. So, listen, the Bucs have to do two things, and two things that they do well that Dallas doesn't do well. Okay, one, run the football. Dallas has struggled stopping the run. They've been better recently, but they've struggled to stop the run over the course of the season. You've been running the ball well with two very good backs. That change of pace with those two backs is going to be the best thing to happen. Bucky Irving is the kind of running back that gives the Cowboys a lot of problems. So I think that's going to be the best thing for them tonight. You may be facing a Dallas team that's less motivated by the time they take the field, because if the Eagles win, their season's over before they even take the field. So right? Take advantage of the fact that there is no Trayvon Diggs. Mike Evans should be a frequent target tonight. Make them do a bunch of different things to slow Mike Evans down. That'll open up other things for you. That'll also allow Baker Mayfield to move around in the pocket and be comfortable without having to worry about Micah Parsons. That's going to be a great matchup, Tristan Wirfs versus Micah Parsons. So I think they'll probably try and play with Micah Parsons tonight, let him move around, give him a chance at Goddard on the opposite side, keep him away from Tristan Wirfs. So there'll be things that the Bucs do. Like I said, they do a lot of those things well that Dallas doesn't. So I think that's probably going to be the best bet for the Bucs. Run the football, use the play action game, and allow that pass rush to attack Cooper Rush.
But can we give Rico Dowdle a little bit of one flower? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Listen, nobody expected him to run for
exactly. That's what I mean.
Games in a row. Yeah. But unfortunately, that's when they've been in the game. They're not down. They've been up most of those games, or at least in the game, going back and forth. They may be down today, okay, because this is one of the most explosive teams they've faced in a while that can do both things, okay? So I think that's one of the reasons why you look at it and go, maybe this is not the time. He probably will go for 60, 70 tonight, okay, because they're going to have to throw the ball a lot more. They're going to try to control the clock and keep that Bucs offense off the field with Rico Dowdle. But guess what? That guy throws a lot of different blitzes at teams in Todd Bowles. Right? You know who's not great at handling blitzes? Cooper Rush.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that's what you're going to look at right now is, can they go out there and not trail in the second half? If they're out there and it's a 3-point game in the second half, Rico Dowdle is still in play. If they're down double digits in the third quarter, forget about it.
Thomas, I want to hear your thoughts here.
First of all, I want to address the Dallas Cowboys. I can actually say their full name now because they're playing solid defense. Couldn't say that about a month ago. I want to keep it just very simple. Has anybody seen Suits over the years? Anybody watch Suits? Anybody? No. Show of hands. Okay. There's a saying that they say when it comes to things that seem very unimaginable or it's not supposed to happen. And they say, and I'm going to say it, when it comes to the Cowboys making the playoffs, when it comes to the Cowboys even remotely being effective tonight, I won't touch them with a 10-foot pole. Okay? I will not touch them with a 10-foot pole. I wouldn't bet on them. Any chance I can to escape having to deal with the Dallas Cowboys for the rest of the year, I'll take it. Okay? Just wanted to get that out the way. Now, like I mentioned earlier, the Buccaneers have been fantastic with all the injuries that they've been dealing with on both sides of the ball. To be honest with you, losing Mike Evans, now he's gotten back, and it feels like he hasn't lost a step. They're still missing out on Chris Godwin, but it seems like that doesn't really matter because Jalen McMillian, I hope I said that correctly, has been effective in the passing game as well. Cade Otton, he's been doing his thing. And Baker, look, man, I'm trying to think if we're just talking about like just straight consistent performances throughout this season, I can't think of 10 other guys who've been playing better than Baker Mayfield this year. I'm serious. Like, he's been playing like a top 10 quarterback this year, and that's been regardless of who's been in the lineup and who hasn't. And they just find a way to win. They're going to win again tonight, and that's just going to be the end of that. Bucky Irving, I just really appreciate him because he's given me great joy being on my fantasy team. And having to play with him in Madden it's been a sight to behold. But Bucky Irving and Rashid White, that running tandem is giving a little bit of a Sonic and Knuckles vibes a little bit. Just a tad. Rashid White
can't replace the original Sonic and Knuckles.
No. Hear me out, right? So when you see Rashid White, okay, it's a little bit different for them because both guys are actually very effective in the passing game. So at least when it comes to David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, when you see David Montgomery out there, you know it's about to be ground and pound, smash mouth right up the middle. Like, you have to bring him down. With Rashid White and Bucky Irving, you're still trying to figure out if they're going to pass or run the ball. And I feel like that mystique alone is kind of what has led to a lot of success for them this year, because they can do damage on both ends. So that's why I said they're a little Sonic and Knuckles light. Okay, I'm not saying it's full on, but a little bit of flavor in there. Just
good save.
Since that's taken, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say they're more Ryu and Ken. Same style.
Yeah.
One flavor than the other.
Street Fighter reference on an early Sunday morning. I wasn't ready for that.
Same move set, but different look, right? So there you go. You got two running backs that can do both. They hit you with both, but they look different. One's bigger than the other. All right, so
that's right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm going to give you his rapid fire pick too. I think Baker's gonna be. It's gonna be kind of like the Raider game. He's gonna have a couple interceptions. Everyone's gonna be like, Cowboys aren't so bad. It's gonna get better.
How was this game Sunday night? What's the NFL doing? You hit home runs.
Remember, back in the day was Dak Prescott. Okay, when this all was starting, we were like,
you know why? No matter how bad the Cowboys are, half of America still watching. Yeah. Right? Half of America still wants to see them lose. The other half still wants to see them win, and they all tune in. That's why it hasn't been flexed out. They know there's guaranteed ratings no matter what, as long as that star is on Sunday night.
And there's one player specifically named CeeDee Lamb that all the fantasy owners of the world named Ashmere are watching. So that's exactly why.
Yeah, well, Ashmere, you could be watching that same game in the 1 o'clock hour, and it does not change a thing. Sure. They do not need to be on Sunday Night Football. Like, literally, I'm thinking about all the possible games that could be in that slot, and we have to sit here and deal with the Buccaneers torching the Cowboys defense for 4 hours. Come on, please. Literally anything else but that.
Yeah, I feel like the Eagles-Commanders game could have been there. Speaking of, before we roll into that, we're going to hear from Christy Love, okay?
What up, y'all? It's your girl, Christy Love, and it's time for another parlay slay, y'all. Let's get into it. So we have Mason Rudolph for 2 passing touchdowns. He has cleared this line in his past 2 games, so hopefully it can go ahead and carry over into this week. Then I got Jaden Daniels for 2 passing touchdowns. I feel like he can get this, so lock that in. Then we got Bryce Young for 15 yards rushing. he is going to be out that pocket. They do play the Cardinals. I feel like he would go ahead and clear that line. Then I have Jalen Hurts for 40 rushing yards. He has gotten this a couple times in his past 5 games. I feel like he can go ahead and get this against the Commanders. Easy lock. Then I have Kyler Murray for 225 passing yards. If you look at his last 5 games, he had cleared this line 4 out of 5. So go ahead and lock that in. Then I got Josh Allen for 236 passing yards. He's cleared this line his last 5. I feel like he'll go ahead and get this today against New England. While this promo is still going on, use promo code Team NBS to go ahead and get this free money. Bye. What up, y'all? It's your girl, Christy Love, and it's time for...
Thank you, Christy. I think she made this Eagles game sound like it's going to be two passing touchdowns from Jaden Daniels, 40 rushing yards for Jalen. She's like, this is going to be a lively matchup. So, obviously, I'm going to give you guys your opposite teams because it wouldn't be right if I let you talk about the Eagles. It wouldn't be right.
Oh, boo!
I'm going to take the ultimate. I'm going to take the ultimate dip out on this one. I'll let Jeff go first on the Eagles. I got the okie doke lined up. You're not getting me, Ashmere.
Yeah,
all right.
In the round
we'll make it a battle. We'll make it a battle here. So we'll let Joe go first. Joe, last time these two faced off, Commanders were in it and then they were out of it. What do you change this game against Saquon Barkley, the changing force in that matchup?
Yeah, you just hit the nail on the head. You got to slow down the running game. I mean, the first half of that football game I thought was pretty much tongue-in-cheek. It was kind of back and forth. Terry McLaurin had 2 targets the entire game. You do that, you're going to lose again. And then in that third quarter, it was the Saquon Barkley show, and the fourth quarter. I want to say I think that Philadelphia outscored Washington like 20-8 in the second half. Can't let that happen again. You have to slow down Saquon Barkley. You're not going to shut him down. You have to slow him down. And then you got to hope that your secondary with your brand new DB who had no targets at all, played a great game against his old New Orleans Saints team, has the exact same kind of game against A.J. Brown. Jeff touched on earlier how A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts seem to be BFFs again. You can't let them continue that romance. You got to shut that down and make other guys in the Eagles make plays. But if Saquon's getting 6, 8, 10 yards per carry, it's going to be a very, very long day for the Washington Commanders.
Okay, Thomas. The Eagles are playing like they usually do in the regular season until they hit it to the postseason and something goes wrong.
Shots fired. I like it.
Okay. Well, you guys wanted to talk about your respective teams, so I had to make it different.
Oh, no, you're good.
What are the Eagles doing wrong right now?
Of course she's good. We're talking about a team that she's a fan of that doesn't know what the postseason is like throughout most of the last 15 years. Please. Of course she was going to allow that, Joe. I don't blame you. Man, this hot cocoa is no longer hot. Anyways, but no, I think with the Eagles right now, man, it feels like they're just hitting in stride right now. It feels like they want to push for that game. They're going to push it. Okay.
You're back. You're back.
Am I here? Can y'all see me?
Wi-Fi is strong.
Okay, great. Awesome. I was about to say, I don't think I need to make another phone call. Anyways, but no, the Eagles are at a point now where they can push any button that they feel like pushing and it'll work. The running game has been their motto throughout most of the year. And, last week they decided to press the passing game button, and Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown looked like they were playing in the backyard together, like they were kids. And like I said, I think the defense is what's so underrated about this team, because for many years we've seen great Eagles offenses over the years, or at least, solid to good offenses from the Eagles over the years. It's not very often we get to talk about how good the defense has been. They're one of the best teams on third down, so they get you off the field, a lot of 3 and outs. You have Quinyon Mitchell, who still hasn't got an interception. Can you please, Jaden Daniels, just gift him one today? That would be great. who has been fantastic this year. Cooper DeJean has been fantastic. And I don't know. I don't know what there is bad to really say about Philly. It's just.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like, we are too perfect. You guys hear me?
No, I mean, because think about it, okay? If you have any question about the offensive line, like, that's solved because they have no problem. Whatever running scheme there is, you want to go up the middle, they got you with 5 yards. If you want to go on the outside, they can block that too. So that's not an issue. Then you have Devontae and AJ, who are very effective in the passing game. You have Jalen, who's getting them more involved after last week. Saquon, who's also effective in the passing game as well. Like, I'm not saying that they can't do no wrong. I just see more of a complete team than anything else.
Yeah. We've said this year in and year out, okay? I don't even understand. It's like we're talking about the 49ers, the same two NFC teams that, like, do great and then fall apart. Jeff.
Oh, my God.
The neutral site here, Jeff. Tell me, how can the Commanders take a W today? That's what I really want to hear about.
Here's how the Commanders take a W today. Take advantage of Philly in the first half. Philly doesn't exactly explode most of the time in the first half. They have their hit and miss moments. If you come out, you attack them early, you get on the board early, you score early in your first 2 or 3 drives. Get a couple of touchdowns and a field goal or a touchdown, field goal, where you're out there 13 points. You minimize them to field goals early. How do you take advantage of the Philadelphia offense early? Slow down their early down runs, put them in 3rd and long, keep them out of 3rd and short where they keep you with that tush push, all right? Keep them out of the short situations. Put them in 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 10, okay? Force a couple of penalties. If you're able to rush the passer, as the Commanders are, you're going to get a couple of holds in there, okay? Things like that push them into situations that they're not comfortable in, okay? That's where you get them. The third down situations they thrive in are 3rd and short, and even 4th and short, because we know how good they are in those situations. You got to limit Saquon early down success, okay? Do not let him go for 4 yards on 1st down. Minimize them to 1 and 2, right? 2nd and 8, do the same thing. Make them throw the play action passes, force those situations that they're uncomfortable in. That's how you take advantage of it. If you do that in the second half, when they start to get those gears running, if you're in control of the game and control of the clock, you can keep Philadelphia out of the win. But if you don't, if you allow them to come out there and keep up with you in the first half and middle out, they're going to pull away from you in the second half. That is their MO. So the thing is to control them early and often, put them in uncomfortable situations all game long. Don't stop in the second half. Do it all game long. And you can go in, you can come out of this with a win at home and keep your division hopes alive.
Well, there's one addition I think we should talk about here, and it's Marshawn Lattimore joining the Commanders. I feel like this is a huge advantage that they're going to take advantage of today, and they are the Commanders, because in his debut last week, he played 49 snaps without one pass going his way. And I feel like against a team that was yelled at for not passing the ball enough, that's going to be a problem. So AJ Brown's all this talk, Thomas. What do you predict happens in the passing game here for your Philly Eagles perfect team of the season?
I want to get this out the way too. I feel like karma hit me. I sat up there and talked about Kirk Cousins intercepting your mic. I feel like Jalen Hurts threw an interception in the middle of me speaking, which is something he hasn't really done a lot this year, but he threw it that time. It got me. Karma. You know what they say about karma. No, I think as far as AJ Brown and the passing game is concerned, like, I think Marshawn Lattimore might actually do a lot of damage, a lot more than a lot of people's going to give him credit for. Probably so much so where we're talking about AJ not getting 100 yards today.
Oh.
We might be talking about, him still getting 70 yards or something along those lines if he's matched up with Sandstrill on the outside or something along those lines. But it's just, I don't know. I don't know. It's going to get really tricky because if that whole side is shut down off of Marshawn alone, it can get a little bit interesting on how the offensive play calling starts to get for Philly. So there might be a little bit less A.J. Brown today. Might be a little bit more Devontae Smith in the middle, a little bit more Saquon out the backfield. But, I think we all know who's trying to get the ball, and Marshawn Lattimore is going to be all over it. So might minimize it a little bit today.
I think this is going to be a very fun game. I'm sad it's in the AM when the mash of games are. Thomas can write to the NFL and tell them that they need to swap next time for the NFC East. They deserve their credit.
Come on. One of the best teams in the conference. Like, come on. What are we doing?
It's going to be either way. It's going to be a good game. I mean, Zach Ertz is going to play for the Commanders. Jaden Daniels' ribs are a lot more healed this time. And like I said in my first opening rant, you got to give McLaurin more than 2 targets. I just think, and the home crowd advantage. I mean, this is the first time in a long, long time Commanders fans have watched us play football in December that matters. So I think there's a lot of things riding for Washington. Of course, we're in the middle of a rebuild. No one's walking around the DMV or anybody's a Commander fan talking Super Bowl or anything crazy like that. But this is another one of those measuring stick games. We knew when we went to Philly, okay, we're going to find out how good our team is. We're on the road. We're playing against a really good Eagles team. And for a half, I think we were toe-to-toe with them. And then in the second half, we collapsed. Got to watch the film, learn from those mistakes, and then take advantage of what we got going on today.
Yep. Agreed.
Take advantage. I'm rooting for Jaden Daniels, but only because I like rookies. I'm always rooting for the rookies. All right. It's time for our favorite segment to close things out. We're going to talk our rapid fire picks. Jeff, we're ready for you.
There wasn't any changes in the standings after last week. Everybody pretty much held serve. Joe got a little breathing room from Greg. So Greg remains at the bottom of the standings right now. Mostly because of his lone wolf picks are killing him. I'm sorry, his lone wolf picks are really killing him. So, but Ashley right along with me at 14-2 last week. Joe 12-4. Everybody had a great record, so it tells you we're all getting the feel for these teams. But I've got a 4-game lead, and I'm sitting at the top of the pile right now. So I'm feeling like
4-game lead. This is crazy. I was only up 1 game week in and week out.
Yeah. Don't pull an Eagles in the playoffs and fumble at the end of the line.
Oh,
yeah. So nevertheless, that's where we're sitting.
Thomas is only getting Eagles slander.
And you know what? In fairness, I can't even get mad because I've been slandering a lot of franchises throughout this entire year. It's only fair for me to get it for once. I actually am not going to come back.
Based off the stinky, you know? Like, that's what it is.
Wrong
Please. Come on now.
So here we go. We're gonna talk some rapid fire here. All right. So right now, everybody's got at least a W. Well, everybody's 2-0 except for Greg. Greg once again lone wolfed on Pittsburgh and got rewarded for his lone wolf.
Come on, Greg, tighten up.
So here we are. Okay, we're gonna kick this off with the battle of the Asian quarterbacks. We're gonna go the Rams and Jets.
We're picking the Rams, baby.
Yeah, I see no drop off from Matthew Stafford. That dude's arm talent.
I think Puka Nacua has like 2 touchdowns today. Kyron has 2. It's like a 40-point game.
Gotta go Rams. I'm a big Stafford fan.
Yeah, give me the Rams too.
JETS, just end the season.
I've never heard that before you told me that the last time I was on. Never heard that before.
You gotta grow up in New York in the 80s to hear that. Yeah, especially in 80s and 90s. Yes. That was their chant.
Just end the season. Wow.
All right, here we go. Moving on to the NFC East matchup that you are all talking about. Everybody's excited about. Eagles at Commanders.
Greg is screaming it from the rooftops, baby. Capital letters.
That face, Thomas.
Well, I'm gonna eliminate the low hanging fruit here. I said it weeks ago, going into Thanksgiving. That was the week that the Eagles took control of the East. They clinch it today.
You did say that. Even though I did not pick them to win in my article, which I wrote, which I kind of regret a little bit, I'm going to go Commanders. Thomas got me fired up. His whole our team is perfect speech. I'm going Commanders.
Yeah.
But still go read my article at teamnbsmedia.com before the game starts.
Thomas was your Apollo Creed today.
Yes. What we got, Ashmere?
Oh my God. Okay, I really want the Commanders to win in my heart, but because I'm 4 games back from Jeff, I'm gonna pick the freaking Eagles because that's what my football brain is telling me to do. But if I'm wrong, we're wrong together.
I literally can't go against.
I thought you were going to pick the Commanders because you wanted.
I thought so too.
Same.
If we were only one game different, you know.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I think Philly locks up the division today.
But it won't be easy. This will not be
easy. But it definitely won't be easy. It'll be a lot closer. Like I'm looking at maybe a 24-27 down to the wire sort of.
Yeah. Joe's gonna be sitting there like, please.
That's pretty much accurate. Yeah. That's pretty accurate.
Moving on to the ATL, Giants at Falcons. First start for Michael Penix.
I'm picking Atlanta, baby. He's riding the ship right now.
Yeah, I watched a lot of him play at Washington, and he can sling the ball around. I think you're going to
be a lot
twice.
I think Falcon fans are going to be angry that their offense couldn't be what it could possibly be these last couple of games with him at starting quarterback. So I'm going to go Atlanta.
Mooney anytime touchdown.
Lucky lefty.
Oh, please. I got Kyle Pitts and Drake London. If I hear Darnell Mooney.
Anytime touchdown.
Yeah, please stop. That's a Kirk Cousins thing. Let Michael Penix actually get the real players involved, please. Give me Atlanta today.
Kyle Pitts is a fantasy football track year after year.
This is going to be unanimous because I wouldn't pick the Giants versus the Giants. Okay, so therefore, moving on. Arizona at Carolina.
I like the little Keith. I like that Keith Richards bar he just dropped in the chat.
Welcome that was good, right?
Yeah, I like that. That's usually Ashmere's thing.
Trademark this, okay?
That's usually the Ashmere thing. 4 bars every Sunday she comes with.
I was spitting facts at the Eagles squad, okay? I guess I'm gonna pick the Carol stuff.
I'm gonna go. I think that the Bryce Young might just got a bit of a blimp that Dallas game. I'll go Carolina. Yeah.
I know, right? It feels kind of good.
I'll go Carolina. And watch Kyler Murray.
Does that mean you're going Carolina?
No, I'll go with Arizona. It feels
good. Greg's going Panthers along with Joe.
Okay.
And we're splitting the panel because I don't trust the Panthers either. So therefore,
yeah, give me the Cardinals.
I trust the Cardinals this much more.
This much, right? I trust them right here. But it's like
not here, right here. Yeah.
It's one of those cases where it's like, say it out loud. The Panthers are going to beat the Cardinals today. Like, come on.
I did.
I don't know.
Come on, Bryce.
Like, when you say it out loud, it's like you got to second guess yourself.
You can do it, Bryce.
You can.
Yeah. Every once in a while, they pull out that victory that makes you go, "Oh, I believe in them." Well, not today. All right, here we go.
Their defense.
Detroit at Chicago. Division matchup. Detroit still up despite the loss. Chicago still down.
I think we should unanimously say the Lions and keep it pushing.
The Bears are oof.
Caleb Williams will come back next year a better guy.
Oh, will he?
Will he? Yes.
Oh, sorry. There's another week left, but let's just say next year.
What'd you say, Jeff?
With whoever's coaching is becoming a question.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, are we sure about that? Keep it Lions.
Mike Vrabel?
Give the rookie some hope, you know?
Well, he'll have a lot more hope if he trusts the coach that comes through the door, because they haven't exactly done a great job of bringing coaches in. You know,
not at all.
Shoot, he'll have more hope when he has an offensive line that can actually block for him.
For sure.
That too.
Last week, I swear, I saw it in his eyes.
Yeah.
He's like, why did I do this to him?
Yeah. He's like, I'd rather be playing against Stanford than USC.
I wish I was still in college.
Yeah, I was still in college.
I'd rather be taking an econ test than me getting plastered in the football field.
For sure, dude. All right. I'm riding with Greg on this. I'm picking the Colts.
Yeah, the Titans are slowly becoming one of the worst franchises in the NFL. I'll go Colts as well.
Man, I thought I was going to be going alone on that, but you know, I see it. You guys have all come around on the fact that the Colts are a better team than a lot of people give them credit.
Anthony Richardson's been like a little bit better.
He is the wild card.
He's a little bit better.
He's a true wild card.
You know, this is why when they benched him and everybody said move on, and they said you didn't realize Joe Flacco started, right? This ain't Cleveland. This is Indy. They're not built like Cleveland. And, no, he's going to do it.
He did it all right. Did it back to the bench.
He did it back to the bench, right? Give me the Colts there. Yeah.
All right. So, speaking of Ohio, the Battle of Ohio, Cleveland and Cincinnati, and guess what? Jameis will be smiling on the sideline tonight because he's not smart.
Joe Burrow continues his MVP, but he won't win it campaign. I'll go Bengals.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Bengals as well.
DTR is not going to beat Cincinnati.
You got to go Bengals because they're the ones playing better. They're the ones still with a horse in this race for the playoffs. Cleveland just trying to play spoiler, trying to figure out what they can do to win games with no quarterback.
Do y'all think the Bengals get into the playoffs? Like, honestly, do y'all think they get
in? I think they just miss.
I don't know. I think I'd love to see.
Too.
I think there's like one or two losses I can go back and take a look at their season that are going to be the reason why they don't make it.
Right. Yeah, like the Chiefs robbery game week 2.
Yeah. Or Patriots. They lost New England week 1.
Yeah. The first 2. Yeah. Patriots. Come on.
Should never lost those first 2 games.
Well, I'll tell you what. One of the biggest mistakes, the biggest things that happened to keep them alive was my man touching that ball in Dallas, because that was a game that was over when that punt got blocked. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they were very fortunate that they had somebody make a very dumb move on the opposite side that kept their playoff dreams alive, because it could have been over that night in Dallas. Minnesota at Seattle.
Well, we talked about this game, so everybody should know the answer to the question.
Yeah. Stop. Joe, stop it. Stop it, Joe. Ain't no way you're really contemplating.
I'm going Vikings.
You're going Vikings.
He said,
I'm going Minnesota.
I love the way Seattle plays football every week. It's like Arizona.
The Cardinals burned me so many times this season. I don't want to talk about it.
Exactly.
I need a podcast about that. I need a podcast about how the Cardinals hurt my picks. Somebody host and let me have a therapy session.
I got you. I have a weekly therapy session every week. It's totally up for grabs.
It's called Burn the Bird.
Minnesota.
So
I'm going with the Vikings.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Well, listen, I already made it clear about my feelings on Seattle. I'm not riding with the bipolar team this week. I'm going to go with consistency. That's Minnesota. Greg, I don't see you with a pick.
He's refilling his black coffee. Oh, drinks again.
Yes.
Do the Niners even want to win this game? I'm confused.
Good question.
Their season's done. I don't even know what's the.
Right.
Yeah, the extra week in the NFL is tough.
Both of these teams are on the fringe of making the playoffs. And fringe means they're on the fringe of getting eliminated.
Right.
Ooh,
I guess I'll pick the 49ers.
this is tough. Because
I'm taking Miami. I think 49ers.
Okay.
I think the 49ers just on a downward spiral, dealing with too many injuries. They're trying to figure out how to get their offense together. Defense picks and chooses when they want to.
They're on like
out.
running back number 5.
Yeah, like how many running backs do you need on a roster for you to realize that no matter who you start there, somebody's getting hurt? It's ridiculous. I'm taking Miami, man. I just don't trust them.
I would love to take Miami, but I know Tyreek Hill's hurt. They got a bunch of other things going on. I'm going to take San Francisco on the road.
yeah, I'm going to go nine. I'm going to go.
Jeff and I are in it together.
I'm going to go Niners.
Okay, battle of the AFC East. The Patriots are at Buffalo.
Yeah, Josh Allen is sitting in the third quarter in this game. I'm picking Buffalo.
I don't think Ashman's ever come out that hard.
Nah, ever.
After last week's matchup,
Sheesh.
that man could do no wrong, okay?
Look, man, that man.
I go Bills by 50, so I'll go Buffalo.
Oh God! Please don't take that, y'all.
Let's
Don't
go,
lose
Buffalo.
Bills by
Yeah.
50.
Yeah, give me Buffalo. It's crazy how one engagement just changes your entire life. He gets engaged, and all of a sudden he can't throw an interception, nothing but touchdowns, yards all over the place, all because he did the one move, taking a knee. It changed his entire life.
First ring, okay? He's
I'm pretty
really
sure
trying
she's
to get
on-
another
she's on
one.
He is.
That's the most important
Ring?
Yeah. Yes, that's the most important ring. Yeah.
Whatever, Jeff.
Yeah.
I won a Super Bowl. I might say the latter.
Listen,
I was just hoping Jeff made the right answer for his wife came busting in the room live. I've been awesome. I was waiting, boy. I was like, say the wrong thing. She's coming right in that office. It's about to get real in here. Screenshots were coming. I was ready.
no married man will ever say this one is more important.
No.
Trust me.
My hand ready to go on Facebook Live.
Yeah, right.
Of course, the most important ring, Super Bowl ring, and here we go.
That beat down would be the most streamed fight ever.
I was waiting.
Oh man. Yeah.
All right, so we got Jacksonville, Las Vegas.
Ashman, are you watching this game?
Oh my God! What?
Yeah, definitely not.
That's horrific.
Ain't it?
We can't
It's in
pass.
Las Vegas, right?
It's in Vegas.
Yeah, I think the Raiders are gonna like you can't force a loss. So I think they win this week and lose next week.
Oh my God. We're playing Madden franchise. She forcing losses on us, man.
Yeah.
Look at her. Oh my God.
So she's going Raiders.
Yeah. It's been a long time. It's been a long time.
Yeah. Oh,
Just because they're at home and because I can't pass, I guess I'll go Raiders.
Oh man.
well, oh wow. Well, guess what? 3 of y'all are going Raiders right now. Greg is saying they do it and lose the first overall pick. I think they keep it.
You think
I
Jackson?
think-
Okay.
Yeah, I'm taking Jacksonville too. Like, and I want to give a quick PSA. The same thing I said about the Jaguars Titans, I'm gonna say about this game. If you find a way to take the time out of your day to watch Jaguars and the Raiders play out of your life, that is on you, and you are a psycho. I just wanted to put that out there so that way no one's surprised. I don't care how much money you want to bet on that game. Leave it alone. Please.
Now I'm thinking the Jaguars will win. This is crazy.
Now's the time, Ashmere.
This is
Now's the
crazy.
Right now's the
We're not
time.
locked in yet. We're
I
not
mean,
locked in.
How are they
We
gonna
go back.
lose against a Jaguars defense that is really bad? It's like it just feels crazy.
The Jaguars have had moments this year, just like the Raiders have had moments. You know, you look at the Jaguars versus Kansas City. That wasn't an easy go for Kansas City.
I'm gonna change my pick. I'm gonna go Jacksonville.
What the heck? We're all good.
Well, no. I forgot about how good that rookie receiver's been for Jacksonville, and him and Mac Jones seem to be creating some kind of relationship. So I'm gonna go Jacksonville.
Brian
you know what?
Yeah.
I need to upload a Matlock gift because I seem to be swaying the jury a lot.
I'm gonna go Jacksonville. We're still live. The picks aren't locked in yet. I have to wait.
Okay, fine. Me too.
Me too.
It's like, I don't want to be down bad in this standings.
So Greg is now lone wolfing on the Raiders.
Oh my God, Greg's
going from me lone wolfing on Jacksonville, and 2 minutes later, Greg is lone wolfing on the Raiders.
I'm sorry, Greg.
Oh, wow.
You know what? Just because I did that, now I have to go have a hot dog and enjoy my Matlock moment.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I'm crying real tears.
Greg is a rider. But you know what? If the Raiders win, whatever. Then they don't get Shador, and I'm okay with that.
You are? Are you sure? Are you going to be able to sleep at night? Are you going to pull a John Moore on us?
I am Shador sure.
All right. Moving on to Sunday night. Bucks boys.
This isn't the conversation, is it?
Jeff can go
Tampa Bay.
Tampa.
I know it's strange. We're missing our club music. I was like, what's going on?
Well, it was Christmassy, you know. We were in the Christmas rave.
Yeah, we was all good until we saw that we had to make picks for the Vegas and Jaguars game. That changed everything. All the music left, all the vibes just went out the window.
And if anything, that's what the club music should have been playing, because that's usually what you're hearing in Vegas. It's club music, no matter what time of year it is.
Oh, man. Yeah, give me the Bucks, man. That's
okay.
That Roxbury head nod 11 league.
Okay, I'll go with Tampa too.
Okay.
I thought you were
Tampa too. Good defense, by the way.
But I almost went Dallas.
You still have time.
That was this close. No, I can't keep switching. I'm gonna think
do whatever you want
as
long as that red live button's still pumping. You can do whatever you want.
Here we go. New Orleans at Green Bay.
Jordan Love at home.
Yeah, I don't even know why this game's on TV.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Brutal.
Sorry.
Spoken like a true jilted Derek Carr fan.
That is me.
Hey, I will say, Ashmere, no wrong words have ever been said.
Should never let it go.
I'm always struggling with the pain and suffering of DC.
Oh God.
He'll be retired and a commentator, and she'll still have trouble.
So
I hope not.
We have 3 games in the middle of the week. We have,
it's crazy.
Yeah, so we have a Christmas Day game and we have 2 Thursday games. So, or 2 Saturday games. Sorry. So I just want to make sure I'm remembering right, because I think Christmas Day takes place on Thursday.
I believe so. It's a Beyonce concert with football around it.
Yeah, for sure.
No. Matter of fact, no. We do have Thursday.
We've got 1,
Okay,
2,
so yeah,
3,
so we have 2
4,
Wednesday
5,
games. That's what it is. 2 Wednesday games. So the Wednesday games are Kansas City, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Houston, and then our cutoff is Thursday, which is Seattle and Seattle and Chicago. There are Saturday games, but those will be on next week's Rapid Fire. Just like they showed up this morning. You saw the results were already on there. So those will show up on next week. So not to confuse everybody. I know Greg likes to throw everybody into the standings. I'll go back to page 1. You'll see And you see the results for Saturday there. That's how it'll look next week as well with the Saturday game. So we'll be picking those during the week, and those will show up just like that.
Jeff said, check my work, teacher. I am not cheating.
Accusations of cheating. In the chat.
He said, I am not cheating.
All right, so here we go. All right, Kansas City, Pittsburgh, the early Christmas Day matchup.
Yeah. Patrick Mahomes, blah, blah, blah.
You're not really going with where I think you're going, are you, Joe?
He could pick Pittsburgh.
I was enjoying the vibes of the music. I'm going to go Chiefs. I'm going to go Kansas City. I try not to bet against 15.
Ugh, whatever.
Look, man, it's crazy. We've been talking about how these one-score games, how they just should have lost this and should have lost that, and then you look up, 14 wins on the season. Like, I don't know what there is to say anymore. 13 straight one-score wins in a row, brutal. Give me KC. I also think Pittsburgh's just leaking oil right now too. They're leaking oil a little bit.
Yeah.
Greg, there you are. Yeah, they don't lose Christmas Day either. So it is a. Aspen, did you actually pick Kansas City?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
She mumbled it really fast.
I said, God, I guess I gotta pick the Kansas City.
Just making sure before I deleted that Pittsburgh off of it. All right, here we go. Baltimore, Houston. Houston, another tough loss to Kansas City.
Prayers up for Tank Dell. That looked horrible.
Man. Yeah, that's a rough injury. And it was a freak accident, you know.
Yeah.
One, like, purposely went low on it. They was trying to make a play on the ball. You know, what can you do?
He never planted his foot.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It could have been worse if he did.
Yeah, for sure.
It would have been worse.
Yeah. Wow. And that's back-to-back years for Tank, by the way. Because he
was shot.
And he was shot in the offseason. Like, this man cannot catch a break.
Him and Ricky Pearsall up for the worst luck for anybody.
Oh, for sure.
Seriously. I'm taking Baltimore. I feel like Houston just has too much to deal with right now.
Still a big CJ Stroud fan, but I'm going to go Baltimore.
Yeah, I guess I'm picking Baltimore as well.
Joe's going Baltimore. Yeah. Houston Texans get revenge on Baltimore. Nope, the Ravens win, Greg said. I'm going to go with Lamar. I think they got to hold on to this division. They got the big win yesterday. They'll follow up with the win on Christmas Day.
So, okay, remind me, if the Ravens win this game on Wednesday, do they lock up the division, or is that not? That's not very.
No.
It depends if the Steelers.
If the Steelers lose
because
again?
they split
through and beat the Chiefs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they need the Steelers to lose to lock it up, I believe.
Oh, that's right.
No. They got to win both. They got to win out. They're
Baltimore
technically
does?
tied with the Steelers right now.
Okay. Interesting.
They're tied with the Steelers right now. So they'll have a 1-game lead if they win this game. And Pittsburgh loses, and then the final week is win, and they clinch.
Got it.
Because they needed to win yesterday to have a chance at the division because they were trailing by a game, and they couldn't afford to lose it because Pittsburgh would have clinched it with a sweep.
Okay, got it. Makes sense. Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
Do we want the Bears to win this game?
Do we want to? What? It's not about what we want. It's about what's going to happen. Seattle's winning that game. There could be.
I'm gonna go Chicago. I haven't picked the Bears to win anything all seasons. I'm gonna go Bears.
It could be me and you playing quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks, and we would find a way to beat Chicago.
Yeah, let's see what Jeff says. I'm gonna wait.
Here comes Matlock trying to sway people's opinions.
Again.
Bears get another win, Christy.
Gets me every time.
So we got 2 people going Bears. Will I make it 3? Or do I believe the Seahawks win it? The bipolar Seahawks win this one? I'll pick Chicago hot dogs before I pick the Bears.
That's me.
Not bad. Not bad, Jeff.
Okay. I still say Bears.
So there's your rapid fire for this week. So you want to remind them of the standings one more time, Ashbeer?
Yeah, I was just telling Keith some thanks for calling me a cheater. I am what I am, you know.
At least he's not bitter.
When you lead the season and then you're down because you were thinking too much with your heart, it's you lose it. I don't even know where I lost bad 2 weeks ago, right?
You were doing the Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing wrong with it. It happens, right? You know.
I'm satisfied at beating Greg.
I just got mine at the right time. What can I say?
I have no ambitions to take the lead of the whole thing. I'm just happy to continue to extend my lead on Greg.
Well done, Joe. That's what I call getting your priorities straight on full display. Wonderful.
I try.
We don't want to win. We just want to get ahead of him. Anybody but him.
I'm gonna tell you what I like about the rapid fire standings. If we put those up one more time.
He has a graphic about him being in first place, probably.
No. Look at the amount of games everybody's over 500.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's really cool.
That's what I like about the rapid fire standings. You don't have anybody. You turn on some of those other networks. Those guys are under 500. We're not. Okay, we're looking at these games. We're picking them, and we're getting them right for the most part. Yes, we'll have our losses, but 14-2 in a week of 16 games, 13-3, 11-5. Compared to some of these networks, you see 6-8, 5-11 and 9. We're picking games the right way. That's the way you want it to be. So I am very happy with our panel of pickers.
Hey, we love that positivity here.
We're all winners. Yeah.
No, this is what we wanted.
Yeah. And you know what, Greg, for you wishing Cole on me and the Eagles, I want to gift you. See, I'm in a giving mood. Here is some lovely teleport you can enjoy for tonight when you find out that the Cowboys have been eliminated from the playoffs because we already handled the business for you even cross the field on Sunday Night Football.
That's true.
It's a teleport with your name on it, baby.
That's a nice.
Drink up.
Drink up.
Where's Santa Jeff?
I'm giving out capsaicin to all those teams that are hurting.
He's right here.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, my friends. As always, it's a pleasure. We've got 20 minutes to kick off, so that means you have 20 minutes to get yourself settled and eat some breakfast. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in to Moving the Chains here on Team NBS Media. Like, subscribe, follow, all of the good things. Hope you have a happy holiday, and we will see you next week.